there, Melanie back. Welcome. Melanie loves death metal. Happy Friday. Um, Again, I completely slacked off on the videos this week. I've been trying to get at least one or two videos up every week. So here's my one video this week. Long story short, work sucks. My job is tough. It's not the best right now. It's taking up a lot of my time. Pretty unhappy, but this is not the Melanie Loves Death Metal podcast where I talk about shit like that. But yeah, so work has just not been my jam lately. It's been really, really, really shitty. And it's unfortunately been just taking a lot of my time away from the things that I really like to do on my spare time, which has been virtually nothing this last couple of weeks. But trying to make it better. It's gonna get there. But so today I decided I would focus on some releases that I missed last year that I picked up and finally listened to. So shit I missed last year. That's what I'm not gonna title this, but that's essentially what this collection update is. So 3 albums, 3 CDs, 3 totally different labels. I tried to make it 3 totally different labels. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I think I lied about that. 2 of them are on the same label. I don't know why I thought that. I normally put snippets in here now of some music. I'm going to try to do that with 2 of these, but I have a funny feeling I might get copyright infringement. So we'll see. We'll see, and you'll understand why. But the first one, let's go ahead and get started, is Profound Lore. I saw this come out. I didn't see a whole lot of people talking about it, at least not in my circle of social media that I'm involved with. So it kept coming up as like a suggestion on Amazon, ironically, for my Amazon Music app. So I finally listened to it, and I was like, oh, I really like this. Why didn't I listen to it when it came out last year? This is a pretty good album. And so I picked it up super cheap. On the cheap it was used. And this is the new Reeking Aura album, Blood and Bone Meal. So what is this album? Will Smith is the vocalist, not that Will Smith. The Will Smith from Afterbirth and Artificial Brain are the vocals, and this is his other band, so the guy's busy. And this is, from what I'm understanding, is like vegan death metal. I don't know. Their first full-length album. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Autopsy. There's some Autopsy feel to it. It's bludgeoning vocals, simplified rhythm sections in there. They're not really reinventing the wheel here in regards to this album, but it's nasty death metal. And if you're looking for a new death metal album to buy, I definitely think you should check this out. It's Will Smith's vocals, so that's obviously my favorite part. He's by far one of my favorite death metal vocalists right now. Afterbirth, some amazing albums. Artificial Brain, as you guys know, amazing albums. Comes with a booklet that is also the poster of the album cover. And the cover art is done by John... I can't read your last name, and that is simply because of the font that they use. So if you want to pause it right there, you can see. I like the album artwork. I think it's cool. If I saw this and assumed it was more of like maybe a black metal or dissonant death metal album just by the cover, if you were to judge it by the cover, but it's not. It is bludgeoning death metal with the Will Smith vocals right there. Nasty riffs, and like I said, they're not reinventing the wheel here. Hello? God damn it, I always forget to turn off my phone when I'm recording. Something I noticed about this is that it has like this white CD tray, which, whatever, it's not a big deal. I got this directly from Profound Lore. But it has a cover, like an image behind it. So usually that they make those like clear so you can see it. So I don't know. It's just something I noticed about the CD packaging. Like I said, I got it directly from Profound Lore, so I don't know if like I just so happened to get one where maybe that part was broken, so they added just a plain tray table in there. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But yeah, I noticed that. Like when I took the CD out, you can see like a little bit of that image in there, and I was like, oh, there's something behind that, and you can see it like right. You can kind of see like the imprint in there too. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Really good album. Like I said, I'm not too sure. I didn't see a whole lot about it going off in my social circle on the social media in terms of like the death metal albums. A couple people I saw post it and said it was good. But yeah, I picked up the CD on the cheap because Profound Lore sells their stuff for cheap, and I like it. It's a good album, first full length. Interesting to see what they do with this band, with Will Being and Artificial Brain, because Afterbirth is done, right? Yeah, Artificial Brain, I think. I can't remember, or he's not in one of them anymore. Somebody's gonna correct me in the comments. Go ahead. But anyway, interesting to see what they do next. How much further they go. If they'll like continue with like the like bludgeoning kind of death metal vibes here, or if they'll like kind of go into like what Will Smith has done in other projects and make it a little bit more layered and complex. I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. But good album, and check it out. Next is another CD. This one, I honestly don't know why it took me so long to listen to this, because I absolutely loved the other two albums that came out by this. Well, now it's a full band, but before it wasn't. And what I'm talking about is the new Ripter Shreds. I think Jubian is how you say this name. Relapse Records. This is a third full length with Ripter Shreds. I believe the first two albums from Andrew Lee were just him doing everything, and now he has a full-fledged band here backing him for this third full length. This album is fantastic. Ever since I finally listened to it and I got the CD, I've been listening to it nonstop. I probably would have had this to be one of my favorite albums to come out last year if I had actually listened to it. It's got a lot of this type of death metal that I really, really enjoy. The buzzsaw Swedish death metal style guitars, like similar to Entombed. There's a little bit of Dismember sounding in here. There's even that old school death metal from Florida sounding on here. Very simple booklet here. It's just lyrics and then liner notes. And there's the image out of the jewel case. See, yeah, I just really, really like this album. It's got great riffs. Andrew Lee is a very, very phenomenal guitarist. I think he writes phenomenal riffs for any type of music that he makes. It's got the primitive vocal style in there, but again, with like the full-fledged backing of the band now that he now has, I feel like his creativity of writing music just grew exponentially, and he definitely has shown that on this album. There's a lot of melodic death metal variants in here as well. It's not just a meat and bones death metal record. There's definitely a lot of thought into what was written. Not to say that other bands don't put thought into what they're writing, but it's just a different style of writing. Don't take offense. And yeah, it's a really, really good album. Like I said, I'm shocked that it took me so long to finally listen to it, to the point where I'm like, man, now I kind of want the vinyl, because I like to listen to music on vinyl. It's my preferred media, but I got the CD, and that's good enough for now. If and when I'm able to, make those excess vinyl purchase, which I'm not doing this year. I told myself I'm not going to buy multi-formats or anything like that anymore. Maybe I'll get this, or maybe I'll trade this or something, or sell it. I don't know. Anyway, it is a really good album. Check it out if you haven't yet. Check out the other albums that he has also released, or has been released. I think like 2 years ago, maybe like a year before that. Like, they were pretty close together. Those are really good too. I own those other two. I think I've talked about them on here too, but this one I think by far is my favorite one to come out so far. Probably one of my favorite death metal records right now at this moment. I listen to it all the time. It is a very good album, so check it out. All right, and then the final thing that I have to talk about, so kind of a shorter video today, is technically it could probably be filed as black metal, and I probably should put this in like a black metal update, but I chose not to, just because, again, this is more of what I missed last year and what I hadn't heard yet, and I'm finally listening to now. And again, on Relapse Records, the new Devil Master, Ecstasies of Never Ending Night. Is that what it is? Yeah, Never Ending Night. Black metal with punk infused into it. Their first album I actually got sent to me by one of my friends. We did like a swap of CDs and stuff, and he sent me the first album, and I really, really liked it. I'd never heard them before. I think that came out a while ago, like 2018, something like that. So this came out last year, and I did not listen to it. I saw it came out, and I was like, oh, I like that band. I really liked their first album. Didn't know a whole lot about them previously. And then finally, this started again, was one of those suggestions that kept popping up in my Amazon Music app, being like, hey, you may like this. Amazon was even emailing me like, hey, you might like this Devil Master album. So good marketing tactics there, Amazon. So I finally listened to it, and I was like, ooh, I really like that. So then I snagged the CD. This is actually a used CD. I got it for like $6, and as you can see, it's damaged to shit. And the CD pops out. There we go. Pops out super fat, like, because like the case is just crushed to shit. Got it off Discogs. The guy was selling it for like $6. I was like, hey, can't beat that. A very simple sheet of paper here, nothing fancy. But yeah, it's black metal with punk. That's the best I can explain it. And I think that those two music genres go hand in hand very well. I am not a huge punk music person by any means. I don't ever listen to it. I never really got super into those old school punk bands. I was never in like the big punk like scenes or anything like that. So it's not really stuff that I listen to hardly at all. Like I just never really got into it. But I do like the punk infusion on this. I think it's fun. It's got those clangy guitars, like those black metal clangy guitar styles, and then those very like thumping like bass punk vocal bass lines that are like punky. It's loaded with fun riffs. It's a very energetic album, and like I said, it's got that punk vibe to it, but also black metal. I think they go hand in hand really well together. And that cover art definitely screams black metal album, 100%. But again, like I said, it's not like the traditional, like there's some traditional black metal sounds to it. It's got a little bit of the lo-fi sound to it, just a tiny, very tiny bit, not like super lo-fi, but again, there's that punk style to it. So it meshes really well. And I really enjoyed this. And again, I don't know why I didn't listen to it when it came out. I guess there was a lot coming out last year. So yeah. The back album, it's hard to see because it's in the jewel case, but like, I think those are members of the band in corpse paint. Come on, there we go. And it reminds me a bit of like Merciful Fate King Diamond artwork right there, just a tiny bit. But that's not the vocal styles that you get on this. But yeah, that's just a random call out. But yeah, Relapse Records. Let me know what you think. Check it out. That's it. Quick video today. 3 albums that I missed last year. I do have a stack of CDs here that I've been buying a ton of CDs, by the way, that I will be talking about coming up in next videos. Like I said, I've got some more new CDs here that I've picked up. I've been going to my local record store lately. on Fridays. Fridays are a little bit leaner work days. I log off around 4 o'clock and I like head over there and picking up some used CDs. And I've also been snatching up like old classic rock CDs that are like $2. And then they have some death metal stuff there every once in a while. I think people go and sell their collections and stuff. But yeah, I was able to pick up a couple of CDs in the stack from there that I was surprised to see. One thing to call out is people keep asking me if I've listened to the new Sango Sugarbog album. I have, and I don't plan on like doing a review or anything because I did a review on their first album on this channel, but maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. But people have been asking me about that. I am going to be recording another Melly Loves Death Metal podcast probably today because I have some time finally. And it's just going to be me talking again, doing an FAQ, a lot of questions I keep getting, and I finally put them into a document, so I'll probably just do that. So yeah, that'll probably be the next video that you see, but if not, if I don't get that up by today, it'll be up next weekend. So in the meantime, have a great weekend. Happy Friday. It's release Friday. Did anything come out this today? I just saw that there's a new Void Ceremony album on $20 coming out in April. They announced that today, so go pre-order that because that's a great band. Technical death metal, good stuff. Their first album was really good. So anyway, blabbing now. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday, and I'll see you in the next one.